Hey everyone, welcome to another Manor House podcast. I am your host, Natalie. Sadly, my other half is not with us today. He decided to go snowboarding, so it is what it is. But we have some amazing guests who have been requested by many of our friends. We are here today with Soul First Music.
Hey,
Hi,
Natalie.
Hey, Tina.
And we miss you, Tina. We love you, Natalie.
Thank you. We love you guys too. Honestly, your music just top notch, top notch. You guys have been an inspiration to us. But before we go on, can you please introduce yourselves? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, so I'm Tochi and Erikim.
I'm Charlotte and Erika. We are husband and wife. We are
Music.
Soul First Music. Yeah, that's our duo name.
I play guitar and do a lot of music composition, I guess.
And in Soul First Music, I am the vocalist and also write a lot of the songs. Though there's different elements to our writing. I suppose I do more of the lyrics and the melody. Tochi does more of the music. But yeah, together we are Soul First Music. And we are also parents, two lovely girls, Ava Grace and Maya Joy, who are hopefully sleeping soundly and will remain so for the duration of this conversation. They're literally in the room next door, so anything could happen. It won't be too loud. Yeah, we are married. I have been married since 2016 and have been making music together since 2009. Thank you. He's
Wow.
the one that knows the dates.
Love that.
So yeah, but we officially, I suppose, became Soul First Music since we got married. Yeah.
It was like maybe 2018.
2018 or so. Yeah, around the time of our first daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, really we love music. We're both passionate about music. And I suppose why we kind of go by the name Soul First Music, which I always have to emphasize because some people think it's soul first, but it's literally soul thirst, like being thirsty. We really believe that music is a vehicle for like transformation. Like we believe and have experienced the power of music in our own, journeys with God, and just journeys as human beings. So for us, music is healing. It just helps your mindset. It really helps to communicate things that sometimes nothing else does. So for us, when we write, when we record music, that's kind of our aim, so that the music can literally be a vehicle for your soul's thirst satisfaction, if that makes sense. And ultimately for Jesus to find you, who is the ultimate one that satisfies, all of our thirsting souls. So that's really what it means. But yeah, that's what Soul First Music is. And we've been recording music since COVID, 2020. That's when we actually got our first single out. So we have 4 singles out. I think it's 4. This elusive album, which has pretty much mostly been recorded, is still not like out yet. But by God's grace, eventually it will make it. It will make it out.
By God's grace this year.
Yeah.
We'll hold you to it.
Please do. Accountability.
We do need accountability, definitely.
We're here for it. I'm very interested in knowing how you guys actually realized, oh, you know what, singing is my thing or playing is my thing. Like, when did your musical journey start? So, obviously it started separately, so yeah.
That's a good question. I guess growing up, my dad and my mom were quite musical. My dad used to have lots of popular music. His tastes were quite eclectic. Growing up back in Nigeria, and back then I think we had one radio station, which was like a national. Basically, they didn't play much cool music. So, but yeah, growing up, we kind of had like your MTVs and what's the other one? Channel U.
Channel U.
I think Channel U. Oh, might have been a version in Africa, maybe. But anyway, I used to kind of listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B, not so much gospel. And then I think in 2001, I was baptized in 2001. And then I kind of, when I came into the church, I was just like, yeah, gospel only. No, I was baptized in 2002. But in 2001, that's when we moved to Croydon Church, and I joined the youth choir there. And I think that's where my journey with gospel music properly began, learning how to sing gospel harmony, learning a lot about the popular gospel songs at the time. Around that time, Kirk Franklin was dropping, One NC and Rebirth, and Fred was dropping Purpose by Design and all this. Like it was a really good time for gospel. Mary Mary had just come out with the debut a couple of years before, so yeah, kind of surrounded by all that. And I picked up the guitar. I think it was December 2004, and like the reason I picked up guitar was my friend Michael Danzy used to go to his house Bible study back in the day, and Michael and Jonathan, his brother, used to both play guitar, and I'd never heard anyone do finger picking before that, and I was just like blown away by that. So I want to be able to do that. And then around that time, also Lauryn Hill released her album MTV Unplugged, which was like a purely acoustic guitar album. And I just loved that album so much. I was like, yeah, that feeling, I wouldn't be able to do that. And so that was where my guitar journey started. And yeah, I guess I prayed. When I started, I had some goals. I wanted to be able to play in church and whatnot. And so it's just kind of looking for opportunities, taking opportunities, working with groups. I used to play with a group called Adoration. My friends, Regina, Helena, Karen, and Kezia back in the day. And yeah, played for the youth choir, played for different artists. And yeah, it's just kind of grown from there, really.
And I think something that's important about your journey is because I think a lot of people hear Tochi play, and I think he plays in a very unique way. And the way he plays, I think people assume you must have been playing since you were like, young.
5. Yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh,
But actually, you started very late, and actually, the distance between when you began and when you were actually playing and playing for others and all of that was not very long.
yeah.
Which I think is, an expression of it being a gift, really, and something that really God kind of blessed, for you to be able to do that and just move into that so quickly.
Yeah, I started at 18, so that's December 2004, picked up a guitar. I remember I played Special Item at camp meet in 2005, so June 2005. So that's like more or less within 6 months. But back then I was 18 and I had lots of free time, so I could put lots of practice
time in. Yeah, but no, definitely it's a gift as well.
I feel like I got good really quickly and then I just kind of plateaued. But
I mean, not to us.
Not to us, you know what I mean? It's that constant struggle, isn't it, as a musician? All right, so my journey from a young age, my family, my parents both are musical. So they, we were surrounded with music. They sang a lot of gospel music. They were part of a group called Channels Only that sang all across the UK, and one of the things that I always admired about their group ministry is it was really like intentional. They rehearsed every Friday night without fail. We would go to their house, the two ladies, Arlene and Linda, and every Friday, and we'd be there, me and my sister, till late, while mum and dad practiced. And then the following Friday, they would come to ours. And so we grew up around that ministry idea when it came to music, and about putting time in, putting hours in to really be able to reach people through through music ministry. We would go to all the concerts with, and eventually, once we got to 5, 6, 7, me and my sister would also join in with their concerts and do duos, which I know you know all about, Natalie, because I remember you and your sister also doing that. So yeah, it was definitely in my mind that music can be ministry. I also just loved, music. We had all sorts at home. Then my dad is quite an eclectic collection as well of music, from most styles, I'd say, but like, yeah, like Stevie Wonder, yeah, the Carpenters from the kind of secular side, and then from the gospel side, everything from the Gaithers to, Sandy Patty and Lionel Harris and those kind of people. So we grew up hearing those songs and also hearing our parents sing them too. And me and my sister would sing together for church and various things for a number of years. And then when she got older and went off to university, there are 3 sisters actually in my family. I won't forget my younger one, but she's 10 years younger than me. So, there's a bit of a gap there. So we didn't do as much together musically till much later. But once my older sister went, it was basically me. And at that point, I was like, okay, so maybe I should try singing some solos and, see what that's like, because it's very different, isn't it? Singing solos versus singing, duos. And I just really sensed that there was something God had given me, in terms of not even just my voice, but also just a desire to communicate through song and really reach people. And I'd often get people coming to me and saying how blessed they were by ministry of my song. And then later on, I spent some time in Guyana in South America doing some Bible work. And that was a whole nother story. But one of the things that I did there was learn to play the guitar, which was interesting because my dad had played guitar all my life and I had sadly no interest in learning. I don't know why. I just didn't really. I learned other things, violin, clarinet, but I just didn't think about the guitar. Although I loved to hear it, but I just didn't want to play it. And then when I went to Guyana and I had a bit of time, there was someone there called Rudy who showed me a few chords. And I was like, oh, actually, maybe I can learn how to do this. And then, I thought, well, this is a lovely instrument to accompany my singing as well. So although I started writing songs, I'd say since I was about 14, I really started writing properly from around that time, which would have been when I was 22, I think, like 21, 22, those kind of ages. And the songwriting dimension was a whole nother thing. I really felt that this is a way that I can literally hear God's voice and communicate that. So that's kind of the types of songs I've written over the years. Have often come out of my prayer times. Sometimes I would literally be singing a prayer to God. I call it free singing. I wasn't thinking about what I was saying. I was trying to communicate to God, and doing it in a singing voice just was like another way for me to express myself. And then some songs would come out of that. And I love music. I love singing. I love songwriting, and I find it really can be quite transformative. And then fast forward now, like I mentioned, we had sung together since 2009, but not like all the time. But there was a time, I think it was camp meeting, where I was asked to do a special item, and yeah, we decided let's do something together, and found, I think it was a medley, wasn't it?
That was the first time we sang together.
That was the first.
That was
The very first time, yeah.
2000.
2009, yeah. So I actually remember this conversation. Like I was sat on my bed and we were on the phone working out what we were going to do arrangements wise. This is before we were together. We weren't an item. Working out, what we're going to put into it. And yeah, it was just something really special about when we both came together. I think what was created, the sound really just was self-satisfying and just the kind of music you could really listen. And yeah, we really believe God brought us together for a reason, musically as well as obviously as husband and wife.
Yeah.
And like I said, the rest is history in terms of that. Yeah.
Just listening to that, I was just gonna say as well. I think just being in the choir, I guess there's a discipline of rehearsal, which you kind of learn in the choir because we used to practice every Friday night for years, and at some point I also directed the choir as well. I mean, thinking back, it's like every Friday night is a bit crazy, but
Yeah.
when you're young and you kind of love it, I guess that kind of helped to create a bit of a love or some of that discipline, which I think is really important in music, and also kind of learning, that it's music is it's there to be shared. So, we were always working towards sharing our music and sharing our ministry. And so for me, yeah, I guess maybe the difference is since we got married, I've kind of more like I feel like I've spent 10, 15 years of singing to my fellow church people, which is ministering to them, which is great. But actually, we need to take the music from the four walls of the church and share it with the world out there, because people
Right.
need to be blessed by the gifts that God has given us. And oftentimes, as a church, we can be a bit too insular and not outward facing enough. So, yeah, kind of finding ways to take our music out from the four walls of the church is something I think we're quite passionate about.
Definitely.
That is good.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a journey in that regard, because I think although we both loved music, I speak for myself, although as a church, we emphasize the importance of sharing and taking what we have outside of the church, there can sometimes be a resistance to actually do it practically.
Right.
And I think some of that is built around fear, perhaps, of going in certain spaces and what that could do to you. Like, could that environment be bad to be in? Or, I think there is this kind of tendency towards trying to stay safe when it comes to sharing. And sometimes that can mean actually not doing anything or not going anywhere. But that's something that I think that God has helped us is helping us to push through and not look for the why can't we's. Why can't we do that? You know what I mean? More like, why can't we? Can. There's no reason we can't. And let God guide us. Let's step forward in faith and let God, show us and open the doors. Because I think that's really important. And I think on the other side is also about trying to remove the mentality that to be humble is to be quiet in terms of your gift. To be humble is to not tell too many people what you're doing, or to be humble is to not really get the word out there. And I think that's actually completely false. And often I think what we are doing is sometimes a false humility. If we're honest with ourselves, I think truthfully we should be taking what God has given us and really shouting it out. Not because of you. And it's about the not because of you. It's not for you.
Yeah.
That's the emphasis. It's actually for God's glory. So it needs to be pronounced in a way that people hear it. It needs to be marketed. You know what I mean? Got to get it out. So, I say all this now, and it's still something I constantly have conflict internally with. But it's something I'm learning that actually that's what we should be doing.
Honestly, it's so amazing because to us guys, you guys are a perfect match. Like, honestly, the voice, the guitar together, just top notch. So the fact that you guys were singing together and you were like, yeah, there's not even anything going on. Crazy.
Well, I should say there was nothing going on officially, but maybe underneath for either of us or both of us at times.
No.
There
I
was
was interested. I was interested for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out. So
it did. God is good. God is so good. I do
Honestly.
reflect on that sometimes. The patience that was required was very but we got there.
Well done, Touchy.
It took a long time.
But we made it.
We
And
did.
honestly, so many people are being blessed because of your ministry and because of the music that you guys are making. And speaking of your music, there is a song that you released in 2021.
Wow, that's so long ago now.
It feels like forever. The song is still fresh in our minds. So the song we're going to talk about is Slow Down. I'm still remembering there's a whole dance trend going on with Slow Down as well. It was a whole vibe.
Yes, you were part of it.
And were you in it? Was it you?
You were in a music video, weren't you?
Was it you? Was it your
I
sister?
believe so. And do you know what? My friend actually was at my house a few weeks ago and he was like, we need to play the music video. Throwback, like, honestly. And then he just had the video playing and everyone was just like, this is such a jam.
Oh, that's so good.
Whole vibe.
Oh, thank the
So,
Lord. I'm glad.
can you talk us through the song? So, what was happening in your lives and what inspired this song?
This song, yes. So, as I mentioned, we got married in 2016, and then pretty much. Well, whilst we're obviously in the process of getting prepared for marriage, we're looking for where we're going to live together, you know. And one of the things about me that I have learned as is that I am not the most patient person in the world. People think I'm so calm. I find it hilarious. People describe my personality. They say, you're so calm. And I'm like, you don't know what's going up in my head. I am not calm. I am like, you know, so many windows open, like constantly, very hyperactive mentally. And when I get onto something, I can become very hyper focused and fixated on things and very hard to slow me down. And that's what was happening to me. I was excited. I was looking at all the potential houses, saving them on Zoopla and all these different apps and arranging visits, right move. You know, I was like so on it, but it was almost an obsession. And I was not leaving any space at all for guidance from God about where I should be. I was just, you know, like, I'm doing this, you know what I mean? And there was one particular day where I had arranged a visit, one of the many visits I was arranging to this property. And I had put, for whatever reason, I'd put the wrong information into the sat nav.
So I lived in London and Sean lived in Wellingborough.
Yeah.
So Northamptonshire. And we were looking to find somewhere relatively close-ish to where I was working.
Yeah,
So
to the M25, which is significant.
So we were looking at like Reading, Wokingham, probably places like Slough and
Yeah, I
things
think
like
so. Yeah.
So for these journeys, it was like a long drive. It wasn't like a
Stop
10-minute
somewhere.
10-minute drive down the road kind of thing. It was like a 2-hour plus drive there and back.
Yes, that's right. So this particular one was about a 2-hour drive, wasn't it? And I had put the wrong information in to the sat nav. You had gone there, right?
Yeah.
So we were both going there. He got to the right place, but they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him in because I was the person that I had the correspondence to arrange the visit. So he's there, and I'm ringing. I'm like, why can't I see this building that whatever? And they're like, oh, where are you? And anyway, I was in the complete wrong place, and not by a small amount, but like a significant amount of time. And there wasn't enough time for me to dash to where they were and eventually, you know, see it. So all I got was a little peek through the window, and I was just like, oh, you know. Anyway, I was disappointed, clear, you know, obviously, and also just like, you know, what happened? You know what I mean? And I remember just being quite miserable on the way home, really. The following morning, I was driving to work, and where I was living, there was these one of these signs flashing that says "slow down." I don't know if you've seen them. Like if you go over a certain like 20 or 30 miles an hour, it says "slow down," you know. And that flashed, and I had like an almost instant revelation or communication from God that actually, Charlotte, you are running ahead of me. Slow down. Don't you want to hear my voice before you make this choice? That was literally the words that I heard from God. And I started writing the song on that journey because it was just so plain and clear to me that I was rushing ahead, as I had done many times and I still do many times. And he wanted to guide my choices. He wanted to show me what was the best for me and for Tochi. And I was just not interested, quite honestly. You know, my heart was being motivated by just, I guess, whatever it is, sin, the desire to just do things ourselves and not have God's input. And the weird mentality that we think somehow that's going to take us to anything good. Like it can't, because the one who knows us, knows the future, knows the big picture, is the one that needs to inform our choices. And so that was really where the song began. And so you'll notice in the lyrics, it says, you know, the very first line is choosing a house to live in, choosing a bed to lie in. How many rooms is there parking for two how close to the M25, which was some of the questions, you know, that we were
That you
thinking,
guys had, yeah.
you know, and that was our kind of requirements. But then it says, but have you asked him a question? Are you following his directions? Are you running ahead? Have you chosen your bed? Now you're asking for his approval. Yeah. So it's kind of like that idea that sometimes we rush ahead, make choices, and then we're like, oh God, can you just put your stamp
Yeah,
of
bless
approval on
this.
this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Mm.
the chorus says, slow right down. Don't you want to hear my voice before you make a choice? Slow right down. You're going at 70 in a 20-mile zone. I was not driving, I promise. 70. I wasn't driving 70.
That was going to be my next question, you know, like, was it all literal or?
No, I wasn't going 70. I probably went, you know, I think it may have been like a 30-mile-per-hour zone. So it may have been like a couple over 32, something like
That's
that.
We'll let you off. I'm also very impressed that you've been able to like just recite the lyrics without singing it. I'm very
Well,
impressed.
it
You
was
know?
like I had a moment where I was like, do I actually know what's coming next?
I mean, if you break out into song, we're not going to be mad. You know, we'll happily appreciate you breaking out into song.
Sounds so much better with the music. I could do the chorus. Slow right down. Don't you want to hear my voice when you make a choice? Slow right down. You're going at 70, 20 miles on. That's basically the chorus with the BBs in the background and Tochi's amazing guitaring.
Just the whole song,
So,
honestly, guys. And the crazy thing is, even as you're explaining it, it just keeps hitting in different ways. Because as you were saying before, like you get kind of hyperfixated on something and you're like, okay, plan. And as you're saying it, I was like, you're literally speaking to the same person, like exact same. I need to slow down, like all these choices that I'm trying to make by myself. And where's God in this? Like, have you actually sat down to be like, okay, God, what do you want from me? And I think this song, it's so cool because it almost feels like it sums up your relationship as well together. Because as we just spoke about, you guys didn't know you were gonna get married, but even when we just like, God, what do you want? Sometimes
yeah,
He can give us the greatest things that we never knew that we needed
yeah,
or wanted. And
absolutely.
maybe we would have made a choice that was just not it, but
You're
God's
so
like,
right. You're so right. I do think that in a way it does represent our relationship too, although the song wasn't written specifically about that. I think for us, that was something that it mattered to us to really have God's involvement at every stage of our relationship. And we're not perfect. We weren't perfect, but I think we were very intentional about allowing God to guide the way, just so that we could just really get to know each other, like at a pace that was, you know, allowed us to make the choices rationally. And I think I do totally get how it's not easy by any means. I think we had the benefit of being a bit living further apart, which I think, although it made it hard, it made it easier in a way to slow the process down of getting to know
yeah,
each other and build the intimacy in other ways rather than always being in the physical space, which I think can sometimes make things go faster than they should necessarily, you know. But yeah, so it definitely, I think, speaks to our relationship too. We took 4 years, it was 4 years, wasn't it? We were together before we got married.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a recommendation for waiting 4 years.
I think
Well,
ours
it
was 4
depends.
too. So yeah,
Was
decent
yours
number.
4 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the relationship and it also ultimately what God is saying to the, you know, the two people. But I
Yeah.
think that was what we needed. I think we needed those
Mm.
years, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple more questions. I really want to know, and some of our friends have also requested to know, the songwriting process, not just for this song, but just in general, because you guys have covered beautiful songs, made your own arrangement, like just, yeah, got your own vibe, your own stamp to it.
Right.
You have a unique, distinct sound. You've got some songs that are like kind of scripture based, and then you've got some songs that are like experience based. What's your songwriting process like?
For me, I tend to be usually the one who's writing initially, and I am someone who tends to get melody and lyrics together at the same time, as in like a melody and a lyric idea tends to come together. So even when I was talking about with slow down, slow right down, don't you want to hear my voice? So when I was driving, I probably had the words initially, but it's very quick that a rhythm comes with it. And then the rhythm tends to kind of give me a melody idea. So the two can sometimes be separate, but often they're coming together at the same time. And I might start off with just like the core idea. Again, not every time, but I do like to have something that is like, this is the message that I'm trying to get to. So the verse will be leading me to that. The second verse might be an expansion on that, but it's kind of like the chorus is going to be telling me this main thing. And obviously we slow down, it's slow down. Other songs like Have Mercy, that was scripture based. So I was reading Psalms 51, and much of that is literally almost word for word what is in there. So I had the words and it was more the melody. I actually did that one with the guitar, which is not something I've done a lot of, actually. I tend to more write just...
Unfortunately, Charles decided to give up her guitar playing.
I haven't.
In the songwriting
No.
class.
Not
And she's an amazing...
entirely.
Don't be deceived. She's an amazing guitarist.
Tochi is the as you know, Natalie, he's the real guitarist.
If you've heard the song "The Love of God," so many people say, "Oh wow, I love the arrangement of that. I love what you did on that song, Tochi." And I'm like, no. I am just playing Shaw's guitar arrangement because she came up with that arrangement because she's a genius.
Wow,
so,
I don't know.
So she's unfortunately decided that she likes to leave the guitar playing to me, and the world is worse off for that.
No. Do you know what? I did. There was a real lovely season, I think, where I really fell in love with it. I still love the guitar, by the way, and I really enjoyed the arranging part musically for that, because again, that was like an access point to a new bit of music that I hadn't really been able to do before. But I really prefer to allow people. Tochi, he's a professional guitarist, and even with the writing, I prefer to write without an instrument, to be quite honest. I do. I know a lot of people like to use piano or guitar or different things like that, but I actually prefer to write without one. And I just kind of explore in my own, I suppose, musical mind, if that makes sense. And that tends to be, and obviously it's not always like a seamless beginning to end, but I get my core idea and then I just kind of work on it, and I'll do that while I'm driving, while I'm washing dishes, while I'm whatever. I'll just kind of like keep it going through my mind, and then every now and then I might get something new, like a new next line or something. That I do tend to try and rhyme if I can. It's not every time, but I like it to be poetic if it can be. And then I also really love to have some element of like shifting directions, like in terms of who's talking or who's singing. So I might, for some of my songs, I'll be like kind of communicating something as if I'm talking, and then another element might be what God would say in response to me, or you know what I mean, that type of thing. So I appreciate so many different ways of communicating in song, but I think I really love anything that feels like it's really speaking to your mind, and it's very direct. I'll then connect with Toch and be,
That's when I get
and I sing what I'm looking for, or kind of what I think.
I don't normally get invited into the process during that stage, just despite offering many
times it has happened.
Our daughters are more likely to be invited into the process at that stage than I am. They'll probably hear you singing in the car or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. But they just more have access, maybe.
Yeah.
To hearing it, yeah. I'm getting better with that, though. Some of why I wouldn't always communicate stuff is because I used to be quite, like, I don't want to say nervous, but I just feel like, you know how it is when you've written something and you don't yet feel like it's at a certain point, so you don't want anybody to
Yeah.
hear it yet. So at one stage, it was like I didn't even want you to hear it. But I'm much better with that now. I'm a lot more like, I'll let you kind of hear and get involved.
Let you in on the ideas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and then I guess at that stage is kind of trying to do through the music what Shaw wants in terms of the idea, trying to create the music to serve it.
That one came very quickly. Slow down. For example, I remember we wrote that song quite quickly, and the music for it, you literally just played. There wasn't a whole lot of like back and forth. Oh, change this, change that.
That was what got me, and we remember we were practicing that during the lunch time, and then we sang it at the concert in the evening on the Sabbath. But yeah, I guess I kind of would say God has blessed me with being able to do the musical composition for songs. So I work with a few songwriters recently. We just did the Casualty play the other week, last week, and we had a completely original soundtrack. So that had about 15 songs, and I did the music for most of them. So I'm kind of used to doing that. But I guess it's interesting because we are both so passionate about music that it's not always so seamless. We both have strong opinions.
I bet you can relate. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
So the because so many people are like, oh wow, you've done so.
Must be a dream team. Like
you never argue. You never argue. You're so quiet. You're so peaceful. Like and it's like yeah. When it comes to songwriting, yeah, we sometimes have strong arguments about that. So that can be.
It's just I think it's process wise. We have different processes in terms of, and I think it can be challenging, you know, when you're used to doing things in a certain kind of way musically. When you're working with others, which is why we should work with others more, to be honest. When you're working with others, you learn other ways, and you have to accommodate their ways and kind of bring that together, which, you know, sometimes can be challenging.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I like the honesty because it's really giving the rest of us hope, you know? You know, there is clashing times, but after, you know, the clashes, look at the music that comes out
it makes the song the more sweet, right? Because you look at it like, look what, you know, we got through.
The collaboration.
Out of the ashes came beauty. So yeah, I guess doing that, and then with the songs on the album, so we had the privilege of working with our friend Keith Bazari, Kerber Music. So we were able to kind of take what we'd had and put it to him, and he was able to.
He built so much around that.
Yeah.
Just elevated all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really gifted producer.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's kind of how it works generally.
Generally, yeah.
I think there was one song which we have that I did do the lyrics.
Yeah, If Tomorrow Never Comes.
Yeah, that one. But that one never gets sung, so yeah.
Is it making the album?
No.
I mean, it's not too late.
No, it's not.
Do you know what I mean?
Tochi's a songwriter as well, by the way.
It's not.
Tochi is a songwriter, and there are songs we've written together. We have written songs together too.
That's true.
So, yeah, definitely.
We've said this to other guests, and I'm going to say it to you guys, and I wholeheartedly mean it. If you guys have a pool of songs that you're just not going to use, we're here. We are happy to you know, to take the songs.
You know what? I actually need to. It's true, you know, because it's important to do that.
Sharing is caring.
Not every song is, you know, you don't, and sometimes people can take what you've done and actually improve it as well and finish it, maybe because you haven't even finished it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, actually.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing I learned or appreciated more during COVID. Charles, kind of like a songwriting expert, now. You know, she used to, if you remember the clubhouse days where you had all these songwriting rooms and people, like she used to attend all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Remember Clubhouse?
And a lot of,
Yeah.
some of the ideas that they talked about was, you know, about the idea of continuing working on a song. So it's not just necessarily having it one and done. And I think, yeah, I would like to think that our songs are getting better because we are improving, continuing to improve as songwriters. And so, yeah, actually, we do have some golden material, which could probably do with reworking, and it might not be for us to finish.
That's right.
Maybe it might
And
be.
also writing for other people, that's something that we're trying to do more of now as well, because it is, there is something really wonderful about being able to share a song and somebody else interpret it, and you know, whether that's for a group or a choir or a soloist or whatever, and then sing them in our churches. That's the other thing, writing for our congregations and all of that too.
100%. We also recently, Tina wrote a song for Doncaster Church. So it's like a welcome song, and then we took it to the church, and then our pastor, like, he genuinely did not know that it was written by Tino. So
that's always the sign of a good song.
Where can I find this song on Spotify?
Literally, it's like, contemporary songs. Like, keep bringing these new songs in because we like it. Like, we don't need to keep singing the old ones. We can incorporate new ones. And I was like, you do know Tino wrote that, right? Like, no one else knows this song. And he was like, wait, what? So
you should share it with us so that, you know, more churches can sing them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
we will do. And the updated SDA hymnal. I mean, we've not got an updated one. So
I know that's something that I think was being worked on. I have to find out the latest because there was some work being done. But
we're going to petition that Soul First Music songs will be in there.
You know, I was going to say, I just think in terms of the songwriting thing, I think as we probably need a lot of upskilling as a church in terms of that, because I think some of our Sunday church brethren they've like created a whole ecosystem around creating new songs, getting them sung in churches, so that songwriters can then be compensated through CCLI, which, you know, there's ways to do all that stuff. It's just we don't seem to have.
The infrastructure is not necessarily always there.
Yeah,
to sing them beyond your congregation. So I think it's about, you know, I think you have to have your song has to be being sung in 5 congregations. In order to be included on CCLI.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole
and then when it's sung, it has to be reported. But which is kind of the thing about upskilling. Like you either have to train the churches that have to do that, or I think CCLI have some software which you can use for your songs, which might just do the reporting on it in sort of straightforward way. But I'm sure that's something Ainsley and Dwight and all those guys are working on producing.
Yeah. But I think at the very least, it's just starting by actually sharing those songs with, you know, with others and singing them. So definitely send any songs our way that we can learn and teach our congregations as well. And
likewise, be exciting. Sure. So we have one last question for you guys. Who would you recommend that we speak to next, and what song of theirs do you think we should talk about?
So there are a few people. One of the people that comes to mind straight away is Nicole Sanderson, who is an amazing artist, choir director, creative, songwriter, all those things. And she has a couple of songs out, I think. 2 songs.
Yeah.
One of them is called He Cares for You. He Cares for You. Which is also the one I'm actually thinking of right now is one that she wrote for a casualty play, which we did the other week. It's called God is the Answer. And it's just a powerful song. I feel like it's not the only song in the casualty, but it's like one of the central songs in terms of the message of the whole play. Really just, God is the answer to what we're all searching for. And it's such a straight message. really powerfully written musically, melodically. What she does is really just fantastic as well. So I'm looking forward to the day when that is out, so people can actually hear what this song is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You can hear some clips of it on the Parkside SDA Instagram page. I
yes,
think they
that's
have
true.
some clips from the play.
Yeah,
That's
right. But that's one of the artists I've mentioned, Nicole Sanderson. And also, her husband is also a songwriter, Jermaine Sanderson. So maybe you could talk to them together,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because he's an amazing songwriter. He wrote some songs for that play as well. He's just generally amazing songwriter, amazing singer. Sings as part of Bardet, which are an incredible a cappella group. Really, really gifted, both of them.
I think if I was to recommend a song, I would say Brenda McGoy. He has, she's got two songs that come to mind. One is Sing Noel, which is a
Yeah.
Christmas song, and it's kind of like a modern retelling of the first Noel, but in like a bit of a, it's got like a bit of a samba, bossa nova
It's
vibe.
jazzy.
It just
Love
makes
it.
you, it just makes
You
me
gotta
happy.
dance.
It
Every
makes
time
me
I
so
hear it.
happy. I will listen to it all year round. It doesn't have to be
Honestly,
Christmas. Just
it's
like,
on repeat for Tina as
is
well.
that-
Yeah. So there's that song, and then the other one is Breathe, which is just
Yeah.
it's like a similar message to Slow Down, I guess, but it's such a peaceful, calming song, like to help you, you know, to be centered and, you know, just to concentrate and elevate your mind to the things they should be on. So I'll definitely recommend Brenda.
Definitely Brenda as well, yeah.
Got so many singer friends. It's like, you know, feel free to send us a list.
Yeah, you know, if we think of more, we'll definitely let you know. I love what you guys are doing, actually. I just want to say, by the way, that
Praise God.
we need more of this and these platforms to be able to talk with other creatives. So even just us having a conversation is just so cool. I love this.
Yeah.
But also the fact that you're creating a platform that's, you know, making it accessible for others as well. Thank you for doing that.
Praise God.
Yeah, you guys
and your studio looks amazing.
Yeah.
We'll give you
It's
a
a
tour
goal,
later.
personal goal of mine to come and visit at some point.
No, yeah, definitely. And we'll record some stuff with you guys. That would be so fun.
That would be amazing.
Honestly. And to be honest, thank you so much for joining the podcast and encouraging us, because I think there's so many of us who love to sing, who love to play, or even want to play an instrument if they've not picked one up yet. But I mean, Tochi started learning guitar when he was 18.
Yeah.
So
it's never too late.
Like, honestly, I think first time I saw you play, I was like, wow, this guy has been playing his whole life and is the sickest guitarist I've ever heard in my life.
I know, right?
Wow.
But you probably were just playing for a few years by then. So, guys, it's never too late.
It's never too late. And it's the same with singing. I mean, that's something we both really believe in. We have what we call a pop-up gospel choir in Basingstoke, and we meet every 2 weeks. And it's joined by people from all backgrounds. Some people have never sung or haven't sung since school, have been told they can't sing. Like, we just believe that it's important for people to have spaces where they can get to know, like, what it's like just have the experience of singing with other people. And we do, it's all gospel music primarily that we do. So although it's not something that is like, you don't have to be a Christian to attend, we do see it as well as a vehicle that God can really use to reach people through the music and just through the love in the community. That it's amazing the kind of people that God brings, and just how we're all able to minister to each other just through showing care for each other, through allowing people to sing and feel safe to do so, feel safe to make mistakes. And like, you know what I mean? It's such an amazing space, and something that, I feel like God is definitely making an impact. It feels like God is doing something through this for sure. And I'm looking forward to do more.
We spoke earlier about taking music out of the church, going out. I know with even the choir show, I was talking about doing this for like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, I'm not sure. That sort of typical Adventist finding the reasons to say no mentality. But like, I guess the past few years kind of shown, when we step out in faith, whether it's, with the play that the plays we've been involved in, whether it's with One Sound Music, which I'm the founding members, whether it's with the pop-up choir. It's like when you step out in faith, like God opens the doors because the music we have is not our own, it's a gift from Him, and like, people need to hear that gift. So when we try to use it, then God will open the doors and avenues to be able to do it. So yeah, when I see some of the things, from the places we've been able to go to, mind is blown. It's just a reminder that we just need to trust God and yeah.
Don't be selfish.
Step out of
use your gifts.
Get out of our heads.
Yeah.
Don't be stingy. Like, we just have to share. We just have to go out there and not be afraid. I know it's not to say that we don't still feel fear,
Yeah.
but I think we just have to push through that fear and do it because it's a responsibility for sure. It's a responsibility.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Thank you guys for your ministry. You've got so many different things going on, and your parents. Like, I don't know how you're doing it, but
what's I kind of feel like we're doing, like, thinking about how my parents were. We're kind of doing what they did, if you know what I mean. But now I know they were driven. Like, it was in their heart to do. You know what I mean? It's not a chore in the same way. And I think you probably can relate as creatives. When you're creative and you do get an opportunity to use that musically or whatever it is, there is a part of it that actually really feeds you as well. Like, it builds you. So it doesn't feel like draining in the same way as something else might do.
Especially when other people are blessed by your obedience and by you sharing the gift. Like,
it's like you feed each other. Everyone kind of gets fed with it. Yeah, God just makes it work. And our girls also, they love music. They absolutely love music. So they enjoy it too, which is good. Kind of coming on the ride.
They're taking after their parents. Love that.
They're starting to sing more now as well and step in church, which is really nice to see. And just, I feel like being involved is really important. Having something to share, even from a really young age. That's how your relationship with God also builds, because you realize that God can use you. And it's good to see.
Who knows? Maybe we'll hear them on the album.
You never know. You never know. Our youngest is on one of our songs, actually. But me and my two sisters had a little trio. Soar of Music, that's it. And so, one of our songs, arrangements of Mary, Did You Know? Maya Joy is a baby, and she's crying on the end of that.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time out to speak to us and sharing your ministry with us. We pray that God will continue to open doors for you guys and just to use you to inspire people like us and so many others who want to learn to sing, want to learn to write, want to learn to play.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you.